Hey guys, welcome, welcome. We're so excited. My name is Deanna Magee. I'm a presidential diamond with It Works Global and a top 150 income earner. Super excited to be interviewing double diamond Yami Fernandez tonight. And she has been a rock star. We have almost all heard of her and seen her videos and her live chats. And she's such an inspiration. 19 years old now and retired. And I cannot wait for you guys to hear her story. So, Yami, I'm not going to take up any more time. I know you have a lot to say, and I'm really excited. My entire team's so stoked, and thank you so much for taking the time to do this with us.
No, I am super excited. Like, I don't know if you told them, but I messaged Deanna after watching her on the presidential Zoom with Pam Souder because I was like a fangirl. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're so awesome. And then when she messaged me back, I almost fainted. I was like, she messaged me back. And then when she asked me to host it, I was like, oh my goodness, I am so pumped. I'm so excited to share my story with you guys. And I just hope that it touches someone. So would you like me to kind of tell you how I got started? Or
Yeah. Tell me like how you got started life before. Yeah, it's kind of freezing. I'm not sure if the connection's kind of bad over there or.
Okay, I can see you good. It just froze for like a second, but you're good.
So tell us about life before it works, how long you've been doing this. Tell us your story.
Awesome. So life before it works was a little crazy. So I'm kind of just going to share way back when. So in 2014, I ran into the crazy rap thing on Instagram, actually in a post that this girl, she had just started because I knew her before, and she was posting about the raps, and I thought they were really, really stupid. Like most people, like we all were really, really skeptical. And so I saw it, and I was like, man, like I don't really think that actually works, you know. I don't know if I should try it. And so I was really, really skeptical, and I kind of just sat back and watched her for a while. I was telling my friends, I was talking to one of my friends, we were going to the gym, and I was like, girl, like, have you seen this? Like, do you think it works? And she was like, nah, you know, most things they post online are scams or whatever. And I was like, yeah, you're right. So I kind of like brushed it off, but that girl continued to be consistent with posting, which is so important. And I was watching her every single time. I didn't like any of her stuff. I didn't comment. I never said anything. And then I just up and messaged her. Like, she posted this before and after picture, and I was like, she straight went into my bathroom and took a picture of me and then posted it because that's my belly. And I was like, man, like I need that wrap. So I was super excited, and I contacted her and I said, hey, how much does a wrap cost? And she told me, she was like, oh, like you can sign up as a low customer and get it, or you can be a distributor for $99. And I was like, okay, like I cannot afford that. Like I'm super broke. Like I was still in high school. I was working 3 jobs. I was going to school, and I was actually dual enrolling. So I was in high school and I was also in college. So I really didn't ever like have the money to do anything like that. So I told my mom about it, and I said, hey, what if we sign you up as a distributor and you start to share it with your friends, and I'll post online for you? And then she was like, as long as you give me the wraps. So I went ahead and I waited until I got paid. I got on an opportunity call that Thursday, and I listened to the call after watching her. And then, I don't know, there was this girl on there. Her name is Steph. She's one of my upline. She was talking about how she was a full-time student, and she was doing this to be able to be a full-time student and not have to work. And that really, like, struck a chord with me. So I was like, man, if she's doing this and she comes from the same background as me, like not really having much, food stamps, government assistance, like really struggling, if she could do this, then I could probably do this too, maybe, maybe. So I went ahead and I got paid that Monday, and I signed my mom as a business distributor, and the girl that signed me up quit that same week. She literally didn't even help me. She's like, bye, Felicia, like I'm out of here, like figure it out. And I was like, oh, what am I gonna do? So my mom, like I literally just started stalking Jade Hooper and everyone on YouTube, and I was like, Mom, we gotta figure this out. And then my mom was like, we're gonna cancel my account, like we're not doing this. So I was like, what is going on? Like, why did I waste my money? Like, my paycheck was only like $130. So that was like the beginning of like how I started with It Works. And I never imagined like me being good at this thing. Like, I never had done sales. I never had done anything like this. So when I got started, I was really, really scared. I was like, I don't know if we could do this. I don't know how we're going to make this work. But I was just excited for me and my mom to try the products and us get awesome results. And I knew that when she tried the product, this was probably going to take off, maybe. And we were going to figure some way out to make this work because we needed it. You know, at that moment in time, we were on like food stamps, like I said. We were on government assistance, and my mom was working full time, but like there was never enough money. And going to school and seeing that, like most people don't think their kids notice, but like we noticed. And I was in high school and my clothes were donated. My backpack was like from Goodwill. And sometimes like my teachers would tell that I couldn't afford clothes. So they would like take me downstairs to like this little room where they have like charity clothes. And they'd be like, oh, like, do you want some so you can take it home? And I was so embarrassed. Like I was so embarrassed because I was like, my friends probably see this and think like, you know, who's this girl? Like,
yeah,
it was really, really tough. So I literally just had this hope in this business, and it really didn't let me down. It's been awesome.
I would say so. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. It just froze, so it echoed back.
So when you first joined, I mean, business didn't just take off for you. Was it easy? Like, did people tell you no?
So when I joined, when I signed my mom up and we were like working on this together, she was here and there, but she wasn't really like supportive anymore. She was just using the products. And so when I first started talking about it, all of my friends blocked me. Like half of my friends list blocked me on Instagram. They thought I was stupid. I got a lot of messages from people telling me this was a scam. My boyfriend at the time thought I was insane. And he was like, why are you doing this? Like, nobody does this. Like, nobody my age really sees an opportunity in something like this. They most kind of like just chill out and work a couple jobs. And that's what I was doing. And so because I wasn't fitting the norm for them, they were kind of like, oh, you know, you shouldn't do that. That's stupid. And so a lot of people said no to me. A lot of people thought it was stupid. A lot of people made fun of me. But, you know, I just was so excited that, like, I was like, okay, like, block me, you know, whatever. Like, who cares? Like, I'm going to be rich. So I was just really, really excited. And no matter what people told me, like, at the beginning, even though sometimes, like, it would sometimes get to me, I was just like, no, like, the reason why they're telling me this is because they don't understand, because I said the same thing. Like, I thought it was stupid. So I'm not even going to judge them, because then I'd be a hypocrite because I did the same thing. So, you know, that's kind of how it was. But when I joined myself, when I signed up in October, like, my mindset was there. I didn't really focus on that, you know, and I realized that when you focus on the good things and you don't focus on the negative, more good things start to happen. You know, and so it was just like a ripple effect. As soon as I signed up as a distributor, that same day I was able to sign up 3 distributors. Versus when my mom signed up, it took 2 months to get a distributor signed up because I was so focused. We were focused on the negative. We were focused on what wasn't working. We were focused on people saying no. And then that's what I was attracting more of. I was attracting more of that into my life. And I was the type of girl that would be like, oh, like, bad things just happen to me, you know? Like, that's just what happens. Like, we've never really had much. And that poverty mindset was that's what I was attracting into my business. And until I said, no, this is not how it's going to be for me, like, this is going to work, nothing was changing. You know, it wasn't the people, it was me. It was totally me. And so when I got started, and what I always tell people, when you decide to get started in this business, you need to understand that quitting isn't an option, and that even when people say no to you, you focus on the people that are supporting you. You focus on your vision and your goals, because the moment that you get sidetracked on those things is the moment that you're walking away from where you need to be and where you don't want to be. Because that's all you're attracting into your business.
Girl, all of that right there is so on point, and so often it takes a while for so many of us to see, like, we're attracting those people into our lives, and the poverty mentality, it's really easy to get caught up in that when that's all you've known for so long.
Exactly.
So how did you introduce the product to people? Were you wrapping a lot of people, a lot of wrap cash, or?
Yeah, so like I was like wrap cash girl, like like literally like, okay, before I started this business, like y'all, I never saw my gas tank full, like ever. So I was like goals, like that's my goal, to like do little things. Like I didn't really have that whole like I'm gonna be a millionaire, like, you know, like. Yeah. And so my goal was like, if I could get like $25, like I don't have to ask my mom for gas money. Awesome. So that was like my goal. So what I would do was like, I literally would just use the products. I would post about them all the time because I was so excited about them that like people were just like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'll wrap you, come over. And like, I was just like, just come over. And if they were like, no, and I'm like, okay, text me your credit card, I'm gonna sign you up. So like literally like I was like either wrapping you or you were straight loyal customer or distributor right away. You know, because that was my goal. My goal was just to get in front of people because I knew that if they tried it, they were going to feel how I felt. And if they felt how I felt, I was going to have a rock star because I was excited and I was ready to wrap everyone. So literally my goal was just to get the product on people. And in return, I was getting rewarded with all this cash. So that was awesome. Yeah. But thank God for my auto shipment because literally, like, even though I didn't know how I was going to pay for it, like, I always sold wraps even before I got my wraps. Like, I was like, hey, I'm going to get wraps next week. Like, I only have 4 left. Do you want to try one? And they were like, yeah, sure. So I was like, okay, give me your $25. I'll reserve it. And so when I got my auto shipment, I had already paid for it before I even got it. So it was technically free, and I was making profit, which was, like, amazing.
Yeah. Well, that's an awesome outlook to have because so many times, I mean, people feel like, well, I can't afford my auto shipment. And
nobody can.
Can't afford not to have your auto shipment. Are you kidding? Like, you have to be a product of the product.
Yeah. If you don't get, this business is product. Like, all we do is share products. Like, really, I mean, if you think about it, distributors are paid customers. We're glorified customers, right? So how can you be a glorified customer without using products? It just doesn't make sense. Like, you cannot do that. So you need to use the products.
How can you be excited about what you're doing if you're not using it? Right?
Exactly. So that's like going to Pizza Hut and not ordering pizza. How are you going to tell people? Like, you're just going to sit there and be like, oh, it was great. The place looked nice. Like, you're not going to go home and be like, the pizza was awesome. Like, you know.
Well, if I ever needed a second job, I should probably go work for a taco place because I love tacos.
Me too, girl. I literally, like, everyone at Moe's knows my name. It's bad. It's really bad.
So even though you weren't signing, like your first month, you didn't hit your 4 loyal customers, and you didn't sign like 3 distributors in your first month, things like that. You didn't have your steps to success filled out, but then you didn't let that stop you from keeping, going. So how long did it take you to go diamond? Because I mean, everybody looks up to you for that story. And I think so often people look at it and they're like, oh, well, I didn't hit my step 6 success. I'm not enrolling as quick as she did. Why'd she get to diamond? I better quit because it's never going to happen for me. Tell us about that process and how long it took you.
Am I allowed to be super real?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a real.
Awesome. Okay. So here's the thing. The reason why I didn't hit my steps to success was 1, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I didn't even know there were steps to success. 2, I didn't ask, like, I didn't know where to go to ask for help, but I found resources so that wouldn't happen again. So the reason why people continue to not hit their steps to success, the reason why people continue not to hit the rank that they want to hit is because they don't find resources and they don't use what's out there to make it happen. So really, like, if you want to make that happen, so the reason why I wasn't successful right away was because I didn't really like have the drive to go out there and find it. Like, at first, I was just chilling, cool with Raps Cash. You know what I mean? So, go ahead.
Like, your upline didn't hand you everything. They didn't, like...
I didn't have an upline.
She quit.
Yeah, I didn't have an upline.
You're basically saying you don't really have to have an upline to be successful. And they're going to hand you everything. You did this on your own.
Yeah. So when you sign up for this business, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but you're called an independent distributor, okay? So independent means like you. So what that means is that if you want to be successful, you have to go find the tools. You have to go talk to people. You have to learn what to do. You have to make it happen. I don't care if you're old. I don't care if you're young. I don't care if you're white. I don't care what you are, where you're from, what your background is. You all started this to be successful. Or those of you that are watching this and you're like, I really want to do this, but blah, 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 blah. Well, there you go. Those are all the excuses that you're going to let yourself say to yourself when you join, and then you're going to quit and blame it on the company, blame it on not having an upline, blame it on not having the resources, but really, you're the problem. So, and what I realized is that when I wanted to be successful, I made it happen, period. When you don't have money to pay for gas, when you don't have money to feed your children, when you don't have money to survive, and when you're in the circumstances that you have to make it happen, you're going to get over yourself. Like, that's it. You're going to find a way to make it work. So here's what's going on. Those of you that are not completing your steps to success, those of you that are looking at this opportunity and are hesitant, one, you're either scared of hard work, or period, you're scared of hard work. Because if you know that everyone on this call who has been a little bit successful with this business has worked for it. It wasn't because we're talented. It wasn't because we got everything handed to us. It was because we learned to find the resources and to let go of the excuses and the fears. Doesn't mean that I don't get scared, and doesn't mean that I'm not a normal person and I still don't have my regular, like, weird moments where I'm like, oh, I don't know if I could do this. Like, everyone has those moments, but guess what? If you want to go diamond, if you want to go double diamond, if you want to be making over $2,000, if you want a paycheck with a comma, you're going to let go of your excuses. Because if you want that paycheck, and even if you just want to get there because you want to show yourself that you can do it, then you're going to have to find a way to get over yourself. And that goes for people who want to join, and that goes for people who are already in the business. You just have to get over it. Because until you do that, you're going to continue to take a long time. The reason why it took us to get my mom to diamond 7 months instead of when I joined the business, I went double diamond in 5 months, was because there was no excuses, just hard work. Hard work equals results. Results get you to where you want to be. It doesn't mean that you're going to get instant results. It means that you're going to have to be willing to be consistent, to be excited, and to be going hard every single day, no matter how you feel, because your goals don't have feelings, right? If you want them to happen, you're going to have to make it happen. And I'm telling you guys, and I'm speaking to myself, because some days I have to fight myself to get my butt out of bed, because I also like to sleep in. I also like to hang out and not do anything. But guess what? That's not going to get me to where I want to be. It's just not. Excuses are not going to pay your bills.
Preach, girl. I'm all about that. No excuses.
I'm like, I don't want to go off, but I have to say that.
That's 100%. My team knows that. I have a video that a lot of people have seen about no excuses, and I don't have time for that. So did you have a lot of support? I mean, was your mom supportive? Was your boyfriend supportive when you had started?
He was so supportive that we're not together. No, but for real, no, it's so serious. I'm totally cool, but I'm saying literally nobody supported me. And it was one person rooting me on, my grandma, because she loves me to death. Literally nobody else really believed in what I was doing, and that's because I had to prove to them that I was serious. People aren't really going to believe you until you show them that you really are serious. And I think it's so funny because the people that blocked me, the people that called me stupid, the people that laughed at me, as soon as I went double diamond and I got all these bonuses and I got my car, and I live in a small town-ish. It's not super small, but it's pretty small. So everyone kind of knows each other. And I was driving around my car. My car is decked out. It works. It works license plate. It works sticker, it works this, it works that, straight right up, it works. I'm in my It Works shirt, I'm wearing my, it's all, it works. And so when I got my car, everyone was like, sure. And I was like, okay, whatever. I'm the one that's in my car right now, my dream car, paid full, thanks to this awesome company. So, people started to come back and be like, so what do you do? Um, can I join you? Like, I'm sorry. And I was like, it's cool. Like, it doesn't, no hard feelings.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, so a lot of people, nobody really supported me. And I think that I love to prove people wrong. Like, some people are like, oh, nobody supports me. I'm like, yeah, nobody supports you. Like, let's go show them how we do it. Like, and so like I said, it's really just how you look at things. Like, you can look at it like as, oh, this sucks. Or you can look at it as like, watch. Yeah. They're all going to be wanting to be my business partners. I signed up every single person that worked with me at KFC. I signed up literally any job that I've had. Like, they've probably either signed up as a distributor or a customer by now, and they were the first ones to make fun of me.
Some of the people that were giving you a lot of negative talk and just negative chatter, when you removed them from your life, did it kind of open up other doors and just make it easier for you? Or how did that work? Because I know some people struggle with the boyfriends that are really, difficult with it and stuff like that. It's so tough. And the Duns told somebody on my team, if that's how he's talking to you, you need to say goodbye.
Yeah. So here's the thing, and I'm going to be like so open about this, and it's really hard for me to share because, to be completely honest with you, like, it's not that I didn't care about, my ex-boyfriend. Like, I really cared about that kid, and I would do anything to, like, support his dreams. But here's the thing that I learned after I accepted God into my life. I realized that I had made him the center of my world instead of making God the center of my world. I realized that my world was so unbalanced because my focus was on a guy making me happy instead of my focus being on God providing everything for me. And so what I realized was that my mentality was so, my boyfriend, like, I need a boyfriend to be happy. I need him. If he's not supporting your dreams and he doesn't stick to your struggle and he doesn't understand what your goals are, then bye, Felicia. Like, hello, like, you need to say goodbye. And I'm not saying that was easy, guys. Like, trust me, coming from a girl who struggled with anxiety and depression, like, I cried for a really long time. And it really, really hurt me. And he was the one that asked me to, like, he was like, you know what? Like, I'm not going to deal with this. And so most people think, like, oh, like, because when you start to be successful in this business, everything's perfect. Like, no, it's not. But you know what? After I accepted God as being the center of my business, the center of my life, the center of everything started to balance out, and I started to have hope again. And this company was the one that gave me that. I don't care all the money that it gives me. I don't care how amazing I look. It gave me belief in God. It saved me. And that is the best thing that's ever happened to me in my life. Because February 7th, 2016 changed my world. That was the moment that I said, you know what? I don't care who supports me. I don't care who's there for me. I don't care who's not there for me. I don't care what happens. All I know is that if God supports me and this is what he says about me in his word, then I am so powerful because he gave me this opportunity to share with other people. So if people don't support you, you either decide to leave them out of it or you decide to just deal with it. You have two options. Either you deal with it or you say bye. But you have to decide what you're going to do. Because if you continue to let that bring down your business, like, then you're never going to be able to go forward. Because you're going to be dragging this person along with you that doesn't want to come on your journey. And why would you want to do that? Why would you want to do that? Why don't you just focus on your goals, focus on what you want to do, and forget about all those people that don't support you? Because at the end of the day, God is going to bring you someone into your life that is going to totally support your vision, that is going to totally support your goals, that is going to be there every step of the way. And if that's not the person that's standing next to you right now, then either you love them through it and you understand them and you leave them there and you continue to stay focused, or you leave them. Those are your two options, okay? But don't let yourself get distracted by a spouse, by a boyfriend, by a girlfriend, by a family member, by a best friend. Don't let that be you. Don't let yourself look back and say, oh, I didn't succeed because so-and-so didn't support me. No, you didn't succeed because you didn't feel like it. Because you could have let that just be there and go anyways. Because at the end of the day, that person might be there one day and then the next day leave. And now you're still where you were.
Yeah.
And that's not going to be awesome. It's not going to feel good. So what I need you to do is, if that's you right now, let it go. And I'm telling you, it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it, because after he left my life has completely changed. My life has completely changed. I was able to promote to Double Diamond 2 months after that. I was able to buy my car cash. I was able to save 5 figures, like me, 5 figures in my savings account. I was able to do that because I wasn't wasting money. I wasn't, going out all the time. I was focused on my goals. I was focused on what I want, and I'm just knocking things off my dream board because I trusted God in the process. So that's what you need to do. You need to understand that if God is showing you right now that this person is toxic, and these people, or maybe it's you need to grow your mind, you need to grow yourself, and you need to grow with God and understand what his plans are for you.
Wow, you just hit so many really good points. I know a lot of people are really feeling that. Thank you for sharing that with us, though. I know that's tough. It's not easy, to talk about. And your journey with God is how that changed everything for you. That's really cool, too. So you mentioned, like, sometimes you feel like just not doing anything that day and you just don't want to get out of bed. Were you ever on the verge of quitting? What happened? Was, like, when you went Diamond, was everybody working on your team? Was it just like your team was so pumped, everybody was go, go, go? Or, like, what? Tell me about that.
Okay, I'm about to crush a lot of bubbles. Okay, I think people think that hitting a promotion or hitting a new level is like everything is just perfect and we're all so excited and nobody's like, no, like that is not what happens. Like, I mean, in a perfect world, like that would happen. But the thing is that if you want something to happen, you gotta go. You gotta make it happen. And there was one moment in my mom's business when we had started, like I had all these people, like I didn't know what I was doing. I never had like a lot of like guidance. So I felt really, really like confused and stuff. And I just felt really stuck and I started crying, and I had just literally gotten like in an argument. I was out of a relationship, like I lost my job. Like it was all these things. And I was like, oh my gosh, like what am I going to do? Like I wanted this and like it's not perfect and it's not going the way I want it to go. And like, honestly, like I realized something. Like without me going through pain, there's no purpose in my journey. Without me struggling, there's no purpose in sharing a story. Because what's the point? Like if it was a smooth ride, everyone would do it. But guess what? Not everyone does do it. Because it's not a smooth journey. You're gonna go through speed bumps. And I don't know who said this, but she said, like, when you hit a speed bump, do you just stop? Or do you like hit the speed bump and then you gotta keep going? Like, that's what happens. You're gonna hit speed bumps in your business. You're gonna get moments where you're like, what is going on? And you have to understand that you're going through that because somebody else on your team is gonna go through that down the road. Or you're going through that because maybe there's a potential who's going through something like that in their life and they want to join, but they don't think that they could do it. Every single thing that God puts you through is because you're serving some sort of purpose. So what I want you to understand is that those days that you're like, I don't really know if I could do this, instead of sitting around and sulking and like why you can't, why don't you just go and take action? Why don't you just go and do something productive? Because I promise you, the days that you're having a bad day, if you sign up a loyal customer, or you sign up a distributor, or you talk to a ton of people who are excited, your day just goes, oops, sorry.
It's okay.
Am I supposed call? Okay, it's my sister's phone. Okay, we're good. So yeah, your day just goes like and completely changes because you started to like do something. You started to get out of it. And what I realized is that most of the days that I'm going through those things is the days that I wake up late, the days that I haven't had breakfast, the days that like things aren't the way that they normally are for me, or I haven't spent time doing my devotional. And so what I do is I stop. Whatever I'm doing, I stop. I turn off my phone. I get my Bible or I get a book out or something, and I put a 10-minute timer. And I just focus on God. Because I know in that moment, there's something that I'm not understanding. There's something that's really trying to get my attention away from what I need to do, and I need to stop. And I need to focus on what the solution is, which is God, because He can fix anything. And if I focus on the solution, most of the time the problem, the worries, the things that are going through my head at that moment disappear.
Yeah.
You know, they disappear. So what I challenge you guys to do is turn on some music, dance, and just have fun, like even if you feel stupid, and then sit down and just read. Spend time, just like relax. Do whatever makes you happy. At that moment, if you love tacos like Deanna, go get a taco. I promise you, your day will change. Like, just go do whatever makes you happy, and then focus on whatever you need to do. Because when you do that, now you're ready to do whatever you need to do. You know, now you're ready to move forward because you're not focused on the things that were bringing you down at first.
Wow, that's really good.
I don't know where I got that from. But yeah, that's what I do. Oh my goodness. Did you? No! Ruby, she's eating her poop. I'm going to tell her. Ew! You are a nasty dog. Sorry, guys. I like just look over and she's like flicking her poop. Ew. Ew.
This is going to be an epic. This is going to be an epic.
She's embarrassed. A whole bunch of people just saw her. She's like,
oh my goodness.
Oh my God, I'm going to throw up. Okay. Okay, I didn't get to see what the chat says because I'm on my sister's phone, so it's really small.
Can you see it or no? You want me to read it to you?
Yeah, you can read it because it's just not like being weird.
Let's see. We'll start at the top. So lots of compliments. Everybody's loving it. They love your drive and enthusiasm, of course. I want to know what you say to the people you blitz. Like what you say to the managers of the stores that you go in. You said that you asked for on your live last night. And is it because you think they're more serious and would be more successful?
Honestly, like, okay, I did that because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. So I was just like super excited. Like I went into the stores and I was just like I'm new into it. Like I remember because I can't believe I did that. Like I have balls. I don't know where I got them from, but literally like I walked into the stores, the places, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like I'm so excited. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of It Works, but like I would love to talk to your manager and share this with you guys. Like, and they were like, yeah. And I was like, can I have his number? And they were like, I don't know. And I was like, I would love to share this with him. I mean, I would love to just spoil your customers. I just started like coming up with stuff. Like I was literally like on the spot, depending on the person, like, if it was like this super serious person and I was like, I would just love, like, you know, like I would just match their vibe. And then like, I would just be myself and just ask them like, hey, like, I would just love to share this opportunity and speak to your manager. Is he here? Or who can I speak to about this? You know, like at my gym, I walked into the gym and I was like, hey, I work out here all the time. I would love to like spoil my friends who come here. Do you guys have any like complimentary guest like events or something? Like whatever, something like that. And they were like, I don't really know. I'm like, well, do you know who I could speak to about that? And that's how I was able to talk to people who like knew what they were talking about.
Cool. So you didn't take no for an answer and you just kept going.
Yeah. And like, even if they said no, like I was like, all right. So I would just come back another day.
Yeah.
Be like, sure. I'll come back in a different shirt. You wouldn't even know it was me. So that's just kind of like what I did.
And you didn't worry about, oh, this is a gym. They've been hit up so many times before. Like you just went for it.
No, like I'm serious. Like I was like ignorance on fire times 1,000 because I was so broke that I was like, man, I don't care. What do I have to lose? They're gonna say no. Like big whoop. I come here every day, and they're gonna have to see my face. You know, like literally, that's just kind of like what I did. But I honestly don't do that a lot. Like I only did that when I first started because I didn't really know what to do to build my business. I was trying to find like a way to just get out there. Now what I do is like I wear my gear everywhere. I wear my It Works bracelet on the left hand because drive through, so people always look at it. Yeah, I like literally just do anything that will get me in front of people and just talking to people and just being myself. And so when I'm out and about, I have my handy dandy Blitz cards. And even when I don't have Blitz cards, that is not an excuse. Even when I don't have Blitz cards, like it doesn't matter. It's called your mouth. So literally all I would do was like, for example, I went to Walmart the other day. Oh my God, I'm going to kill you. Stop it. Stop doing it. Sorry. You're going to be on my desk. There you go. I don't know where you're going to go now. Okay. So, sorry. She's like, over here. Look at this. So literally, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, okay. So when I went to Walmart the other day and I was buying my doggy all the stuff for her, like my cashier, I had blitzed her before, like, and I saw her and I was like, oh, like she never called me. So I went to the same line and I was like, hey girl, like, how are you? And she's like, oh, you're that girl, like, with the business. And I was like, yeah, you're still here? And she's like, and she was like, yeah, I work until 12. And I was like, oh, that sucks. You should call me. And she was like, yeah. And she was like, oh, here's my number. Like, she gave me her phone. She made me call myself. So, like, you just have to be, like, you. Like, I don't know what that is. I'm super shy. Like, I really am. I'm super duper shy. But, like, the reason why I'm not when I'm sharing my business is because I'm really passionate about it. So when you're passionate about something, you, like, literally don't really care. You know, you figure it out. Like, the girl, one time I went to IHOP, the last story about blitzing. One time I went to IHOP at, like, 12. Like, it was, like, midnight, and I wanted pancakes. And I went to IHOP, and my server was, like, the sweetest person ever. And I didn't have any blitz cards, guys. And swear, every time I saw this story, I get chills. And I didn't have any blitz cards, so I was like, I'm not going to blitz her. And I went inside my car, okay, and I couldn't turn on my car. I could not, like, get myself to turn on my car because I was like, no, like, I need to go back in there and share this with her. But I was like, how am I going to do this? I don't have blitz cards. Oh. You know, and I was like, whatever, yeah, we just figure it out. So I walked inside, and I said, you're going to think I'm, like, super weird and crazy, but I don't really care. Like, have you ever heard of It Works? And she said, no, I haven't. I'm like, can we be friends on Facebook? And then she was like, yeah, sure. So I added her on Facebook, and she started to follow my journey. 3 days later, she signed up as a distributor, and now she's almost boxed in for diamond and probably going to be going diamond this month. So you never know who's going to be the next runner. So, like, literally stop counting people out. Yeah. Because she told me, she's like, I was praying for an opportunity. I had just joined this other company, and I had spent $600 on the starter kit, and I didn't even make any money back. And I was like, wow. Crazy.
You never know.
So that feeling, just go for it. Like,
yeah. You're robbing somebody of that opportunity that needs it.
Exactly. Don't be selfish. Like,
exactly.
If somebody would have came to KFC when I was working and said, hey, I have an opportunity for you to get the heck out of here, I would have been like, I love you. Like, I love you. Thank you. Like, I hate this place. Like, but nobody ever did that. So, like, I don't get offended. Like, people don't get offended when I share this with them. And so most of the people that I've blitzed, I became friends with them on social media. And because I'm super consistent with my social media, they end up joining.
Same thing. I do the same, girl. And I feel like adding them on social media, I have so many distributors who I've done that with that have seen my lanyard when I go out and I blitz. It's such a great way because they see it really is changing your life and they see the products really are working and you're just constantly in their face and they're seeing and believing it and they see you're excited about it. And that's one thing for sure that I would say you're always excited about it and your excitement is contagious. And it's so important for all of us to be truly passionate and excited about what we're doing.
Yeah, and you have to, like, I'm going to be so real with you guys. Like, there was a moment, like, this summer where, like, I was just, like, really, like, into my feelings. And I was all up in, like, my own little funk. And, like, I don't even know why. Like, it was stupid. And the reason why I was in that little place was because I let myself be there. And what I realized was that that was affecting my business. I've always been a mass enroller. I enroll at least 15 to 20 distributors a month. And that month, I enrolled 3. And I was like, oh, like, no. So I was like, the reason why this happened is because I'm self-sabotaging myself. I'm going to sleep late. I'm waking up late. I'm waking up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then I'm all cranky, and I'm not taking advantage of my day, and then I'm fighting with everyone, and my attitude my attitude is affecting my business. And so what I realized was that my attitude pays me. So I have to be excited. I have to be passionate. I have to be like a go-getter. And I have to create that atmosphere for myself. And I literally, how I do that is by being like around people that get me excited. And seriously, that's from YouTube, because I don't have friends. Like, most of my friends don't have a life. Like, most of the people that are my age here are like out clubbing, and that's not me. So I don't have anyone that I could relate to. But guess what? I built friends. And that's why I do this business, because I want other kids my age to be like, I don't have to go to the clubs. I don't want to. I want to be rich. So, you know, that's like, you have to get out of your head, and you have to get into this positivity and this excitement. And when you join this business, you're excited, right? You're scared, but you're excited. And your excitement is what gets you through. Your excitement is what got you on this call. Because if you weren't excited about this business or joining, you wouldn't even be watching, period. So if that's why you're here, then I need you to fuel that every single day and continue to keep it alive. Because this month people are like, oh, you're on fire. And I'm like, no, my attitude's on fire. And my actions are too. And that's why my business is getting a ton of, it's booming, because I'm speaking that over it.
Coming from a girl who suffered from anxiety and depression, I mean, that says a lot. And you just, it was a decision in your mind, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to be that way anymore. And you found the resources, you plugged in, and you did it. So that's
awesome. It still happens, guys. Like I still have my days where like depression is really hard. Okay. Like most of, if anybody has gone through it, like it's hard to deal with. And the thing is, like, if you let it control you, it'll always control you. You know, if you let it push you down, it will always push you down. And so
we're losing you, girl. You're breaking up so bad, I can't hear you. Connection is super bad.
Read that to myself every understand God. And when you read his word.
Oh no, we might have lost her.
I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God, I don't know what happened. I was like, oh, but it's okay. It's fine. But yeah, like when you start to believe that, your business just starts to change. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what happened.
It's okay.
I freaked out more than you. I was like, what did I do?
Girl, well, thank you so much. It's been so fun, and I cannot wait to meet you on the cruise. I'll probably actually meet you at Tampa One Team One Mission.
Yes, I'm so excited. Yeah, I'm going. I already bought my ticket. Like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, stop.
Yeah.
And I'm yeah.
By the way, what do you think about corporate events? Like, it's not always easy. It's not always convenient. You might have to sell some extra wraps to be able to afford to get there. But, like, what's your opinion? Is it worth it, or?
So funny that you asked that. So when my mom was a distributor, she never wanted to go to events. So like I never got to go because, you know, she was the distributor. But then when I joined, I was like, bye, Felicia. Like, I'm going to an event. Like, I'm so excited. Like, I was like, I'm going to an event. And so I joined October 16, 2015. And literally, I saw that Kyler Pentecost, he is awesome. He hosts like these One Team One missions every single month in Bradenton, Florida. And I saw he was hosting one, and that was like November or December. December. And I went and I was like, this is awesome. Like, I was just a groupie. Like, I was just like a groupie. And literally, like, the next month, I was like, I'm going to go double diamond. I'm going to go double diamond. Like, I'm going to do this. Like, I was so excited. And that the next time that I went back was I went to the It Works U in Dallas or Texas or something like that. The first one that they did in March. And then I went to another like event here when Tyler did the other one-to-one mission party, and like I went as a double diamond, and like I was so excited. I was like, I told Kyler, I was like, I know you don't know me, but it's okay because like I was here last time and I was just a Ruby and I was stalking you, and I was so excited. And like, it's so cool to like see people like when you get to the headquarters or when you go to an event, like when you see like the It Works sign in front of you, like in your face, like that it's not on a Blitz card, like it's a real thing, or like real people. You're like, oh, like I'm not alone. Like there's real people doing this. Like
this is my
it's
family.
just this, yeah. Like I know you, but like you don't know me. Like it's cool. Like, and so like it's so awesome to just go and just like get to know people and like just hug everyone. Like just be weird and like see our It Works celebs. Like we have our It Works celebs and just see them and just be like, you inspire me. And like the my biggest like aha moment at one of the events was like when I went double diamond and Sarah Rankin was the one that was like interviewing me, like she was holding the mic. She was like, what is your story? And I was like, I was like shaking. And oh my gosh. And she was like, when I started sharing my story, like everyone in that room was like crying and we were all crying like idiots. And you know, like Kyler stood up, okay? Like he stood up, he was sitting in the front row. He stood up as I was walking back to my chair and he gave me a hug and he's like, I'm so proud of you. And I was like, real tears. Like I was like shaking and I was like, oh my gosh, the CEO's son like loves me. And then he added me on Facebook. Dead. Like, I died. I was like, okay, like Rock Pearl's dreams come true. So like when you go to events and you see people, you just realize that one, they're real people. Two, they're normal. Like they're so normal. Like they're not even like super awesome. Like they're just normal people like us. So you get to see them and you're like, oh, she doesn't have her toenails painted like me? Oh, so cool. Like, we can do this. Like, you know, that was one of the aha moments for one of my team members. So just know that, like, if you go, you're going to be able to find someone that day that inspires you. It doesn't have to be a top earner. It could be the person sitting next to you. But you don't know who you're going to meet and who God's going to put in that event for you. So whatever event is coming up next, get there. I don't care if you have to walk. Just get there, because when you do, you're going to thank yourself so much. You're going to thank yourself so much, and your business is going to thank you too. Like a lot.
And what you had said earlier about your story, you're going through these struggles for a reason. You're going to inspire somebody by your testimonial, by your story. And when I went to when I went to Green Carpet recently, I'm walking into a parking lot at corporate, and somebody starts shouting at me from across the parking lot. They're like, Deanna, Deanna. And I look over. This amazing woman is from Maine. She comes up to me and she's like, I just have to tell you, you inspire me so much. I'm a single mom. She goes through her story. It's very similar. And going through those struggles, you don't know why that's happening exactly, or you don't know how you're going to get through it, but you do. And the fact that you do, and you share that with other people, even if it's not easy to share, like you were talking about your boyfriend, and that's not a fun time. And it's difficult, but it's going to show other people that I was able to get through it, you're going to get through it, and you're going to come out better because of it.
Exactly. And that's so true. And like this time when we went to Green Carpet, like I don't think I'm like people like even, I didn't even know people knew who I was. And like I went and like this like random group of girls like were coming up to me and they're like, oh my gosh, look at Yami. And I was like, what? I was like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, like what? And they were like, you inspire me, like I follow you. And I was like, oh my Lord, like I was so happy. So like just know that like when you're going through it, like just make it. Because when you make it, there's somebody else who's gonna look at you and say, she made it, I can do that. Like if she did it, I can do it. And that's your goal. Your goal is to get tons of people to say that to you. Your goal is to inspire so many people that they're all like so excited, and when they make it, they're going to share their story and they're going to say, that girl, she struggled and she made it, and so I did, and you can too. And now you're creating this generation of amazing people just because you didn't let your story become this sob story. You let it become your success story.
You didn't let your circumstances define you. You kept going. You put one foot in front of the other, no matter how hard it was, and you got to where you are now, and you're going to keep growing, and you're going to keep going. Oh, my goodness, girl. It's been so much fun. I know we have a corporate call with the Duns. I'm so excited to hear that. So I'm going to go ahead and end this. Thank you so much again for taking the time.
Thank you, girl. It was so much fun hanging out with you guys. Now I'm going to have to steal you, too.
Anytime, I'm here for you. Thanks, girl.
Alrighty. Bye.
Bye. Have a good night.
You too.
Thanks.